Hello. What I've been doing lately is giving options on how you can build your survival kit. I've shown my personal survival kit, and just by adding a sleeping bag, I have a -5 sleeping bag with a bivvy. That there allows me to crawl inside if I'm cold anywhere above -5 and above. So very good option, couple pounds, I don't mind carrying it. If I'm hurt, I can't get around to set up a shelter, I can't get firewood and so on, all I have to do is crawl inside that, crawl inside the bivvy as well, roll over, and I can actually lay there in a rainstorm and be dry and warm. Very, very good option to have in my kit. Today what I want to go over is fire kits for survival. Now, I've had many fire kits over the years, and I just want to show you some different options and choices that you may like or that you can use. As many of you know, I have practiced primitive skills. I have practiced many different skills for fire making, for shelter building, and so on. Now, with my kits I'm showing today, it's a modern type kit because our gear has improved over the ages. This kit is a surefire way of surviving in most situations. There's never a 100% guarantee, but this kit can help increase your chances a lot. So now with fire, I practiced primitive fire, and I practiced flint and steel, solar, and ferro rod, lighter, matches, so on. Now, I practice them because if I do not have a ferro rod, a lighter, or match, I have another option if I have the materials to start a fire. A bow drill fire, I've done many times, but it is a backup because you have to have the materials, and if you don't, it's not going to work. So it's a backup plan, and I do encourage people to get out there and practice primitive skills and different types of skills all around shelter, water, fire, and even food. So in this pouch here, I have an assortment that I want to share. Right here is a kit that I've used and carried for many years. One of my first kits that I put together. And I don't even know where this case came from. I just found it one day. And what I've got in here is a lot of fire starting materials or ways of starting fire. This here is an old mag lens that came out of a magnifier. Works very well for starting fire. That is a polished bottom of a pop can. That parabolic lens from a flashlight. So I've got 3 ways of starting solar fire. In here, flint and steel kit. Got matches with a striking pad. And actually, another lens for starting fire. So I have many ways of starting fire in this kit. But to me, I took this because I wanted to use these out in the field while I was camping and such. This is for fun. This was for practice. I really enjoy making fire with solar, with flint and steel and such, and even with a bow drill. It's for fun for me. Do I want to count on these in a survival situation? Well, if I have nothing else, sure. But these here are for fun for me. Now, I have a couple other options here that seems a little bit more realistic, or what I would really want to have if I needed fire rather quickly. For myself, I do 90% of my fires out here with a ferro rod because I enjoy it. I enjoy processing the wood and such. And having made a fire with just sparks from a ferro rod, I get satisfaction from it. This here, to me, is as good as a lighter because I can drop this right in the water, pick it up, and it'll still spark. A lighter, you have to dry it out and such. They all have, you know, this is going to vary in opinion, but I will always be carrying a ferro rod for sure. But I'm going to carry a lighter as well, because you have to process, even to start a lighter, you have to start with smalls, you got to start with tinder and such. But there's a lot of material that you can start with a lighter that a ferro rod can have a hard time with. Open flame can be, you know, a lot better in many ways for many materials. In here I have storm-proof matches, and also with a striker, but these can be very, very good in high winds, and it gives you a little longer burn time to get that material going. Very, very nice. I keep them in a waterproof container, plus I have a striker in there. So that's a good idea. These are awesome. Now, they actually have a match on the top, and then you have your tinder with it. So you have your tinder and your fire starter all in one, and those can be very, very nice. I use them for starting my twig stoves and such. I can light it, drop it in there, throw some twigs on top, I'm good to go. I mean, very, very nice addition to any kit. Now, for years growing up, I used these. These are strike anywhere wooden matches. Keep them in this waterproof container. They have a striker as well. And I've lit a lot of fires with matches just like these. And then lastly, you have your disposable lighters. Zippo works well. So these here are a very good option. Lighters and such. Now for survival, lighters, matches, a fire starter with its own tinder can be very, very good options, because these here can provide a flame fast, and it can start a fire a lot quicker in most cases. Although I've seen many kits that have many options for a survival kit. They'll have solar, they'll have flint and steel, they'll have a bearing block. To me, I rather carry 2 or 3 lighters in different areas on my body than having to go out and make a bow drill set. I rather, you know, if this one fails, this one here probably won't. And if this one does, I'll have another one in my back pocket or so on. I rather have 3 lighters than, and a match, say, or 3 sets of matches, whatever. But I rather have that than depending on trying to get a solar fire going when there's no sun, or depending on getting yourself a bow drill fire or friction fire started when you can't find the materials. This is survival. This means life or death. So carrying the materials that's going to work, it's just a good thing to do in my opinion. Thanks for watching and hope this made sense. Take care.